protected place to ride bikes. You know, you're out in the open.
If this story can help save other people's lives, I think that would make a huge difference.
What can be done to save lives and keep the roadways safe?
Because you never know, like maybe that extra push could save someone's life.
A search for solutions in a special report, Sharing Spaces.
Your News at 10 starts now. And that's where we begin. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Pat Simon.
And I'm Clara Benitez. We are going in depth tonight on an issue that many cyclists say is a matter of life and death.
Yeah, there's an estimated 52 million bicycle riders in the U.S., according to consumer data. And here in Corpus Christi, it's got a growing community of recreational riders. But many fear the city isn't prioritizing safety for cyclists on the streets.
Our Michelle Lorenzo has been looking into this problem. Michelle, some have been pushing for action, and cyclists are also have been asking for safety for many years.
Yeah, that's right. And you know what? They do say that it seems like nothing is being done about this issue. They say that there is indeed some fresh paint on the roads, but the fight still has to continue because they say human lives are at stake. Now, tonight, passionate locals, they're coming forward, some showing us what could be. Others show us the dangerous and even deadly consequences of what they describe as inadequate infrastructure for cars and cyclists sharing spaces.
Biking is a part of a lifestyle Shireen Delceuse grew up with. Before moving to Corpus Christi, Delceuse lived in Montreal. The Canadian city has a reputation of being one of the most bicycle-friendly cities in North America, with more than 400 miles of bike paths, bike lanes, and trails.
I saw how it really helps the community. I see people of all walks of life using protected bike paths to get to their jobs, school. So I saw how it really improves the city, and people travel from all over the place just to cycle there.
Delceuse finds joy raising her kids in the coastal bend, but she said something the city's lacking is a safe place for cyclists, despite bike paths painted on some Corpus Christi streets.
I have provided this picture where a car swerved onto the bike path with that paint. They swerved onto it while me and my husband were riding our bikes. And for me to randomly take a picture of it and catch that, that should tell you that that happens more than it should. So obviously paint doesn't protect people. And it's always scary out there. I'm with my kids. Like, I have 2 kids and I want them to cycle. I want them to be healthy. I want them to be active. It's something we do to get to the playground, to the library. Straight.
For several years now, Delceuse has been an active representative for cyclists in our community. She tries to raise awareness at Corpus Christi City Council meetings.
I'm here to advocate for protected bike paths.
And in 2021, Delceuse even created a petition urging the city to consider creating the protected bike paths. The petition garnered almost 1,000 signatures of support. Some of those signatures include family members of Joseph Fillmore, the young man who died after a car struck him when he was riding his bike.
Son just wanted to go to the store and buy something, you know what I mean? And he was ended up going to the hospital and ICU and put on life support, and he never woke up.
Ruby Oliveira's son became a part of a tragic statistic. TxDOT's most recent data reports more than 8,200 crashes total in 2021. Of that number, 41 crashes were fatal. 10% of deaths involved a commuter on a bike, including Fillmore. And as Oliveira knows firsthand, the death of just one person is one too many.
I feel for the families that have lost their family members. You know, people are just trying to, live and get around.
Almost 2 years since the passing of her son, Oliveira still seeks clarity and direction. Just like Delceuse, she's been pushing the city to make changes for safer streets. When we first met her last August, she showed us bike paths with faded paint on the very road her son was fighting for his life. After we reached out to the city about the initial issue, they promised to refresh the surfaces. And as you can see, it was a promise fulfilled. However, it came more than a year after Fillmore's death, and his mother says the action was too little, too late.
As time passes on, people are at risk of losing their lives.
And to this day, she still contemplates and questions who is to blame.
It's very tragic to think that, if the city had maybe made more efforts to make the bike lane safer, that maybe this would have prevented my son from getting killed. Because the driver did say he didn't know it was a bike lane. At the same time, how are you not going to see somebody on a bicycle?
A driver running into a person on a bike may be a more common occurrence than many think. At least that's what Wade Watson has experienced. The former BMX cyclist is employed at a local restaurant. He used to bike to get to work every day, but despite a good luck charm dangling off his handlebars, he said he's been hit by cars several times before.
You're out in the open and you're just battling these big 2-ton vehicles that just run you over. Hit and run many times, just usually I don't get hurt.
That is until an incident in mid-March. Watson said he was heading home during a lunch break, and when he was close to his neighborhood, a car hit him and drove off.
I didn't make it to dinner shift. I ended up on the ground and couldn't move my legs.
After spending a few days in the hospital, he was told full recovery could take several weeks.
My pelvis was all busted up. They had to pin that together, screw some stuff together, and then my femur was broken, the crown broke off, so they had to put a steel rod down my femur and then put these other pins and screws in to hold all that in place.
Watson says it's still painful to simply walk, but he said what's hurting him the most is his mind and also his wallet.
It impacts my livelihood a lot because I can't make any money. I'm not one of them people that can sit around anyway. I don't do that. I'm a very active person, and I can't go out and ride bikes anymore. I can't go to work. I can't do anything. And so it's not good for my mental health to be stuck here like this.
He, Oliveras, and Del Suze have all gone through different paths of life and experiences, but they say they all hope for the same outcome, to change the course of the future.
They need to do better with their infrastructure and to fix the problems.
If this story can help save other people's lives, I think that would make a huge difference.
I mean, human lives, you can't replace that.
No, our efforts to find answers and solutions, it doesn't stop tonight, folks. There's still a lot of questions and concerns that have been brought up that we are looking to address. For now, if you want more information about protected bike paths and data on crashes for our region, you can definitely visit our website.
Very, very important issue. Michelle, thanks so much. By the way, in addition, we asked City Manager Peter Zanoni if there are plans to add extra protection for people on bikes. Here's what he had to say.
We care about cyclists. We care about safety of all persons that are using our roadway facilities. We do have a somewhat of an outdated bike master plan that the Metropolitan Planning Organization created several years ago.
Zanoni tells us the Metropolitan Planning Organization agreed to update that plan, though. The MPO director also alerted us of a move to launch a variety of planning efforts focused on transportation. That's expected to take place this summer. This would include a bicycle planning effort and safety action plan. We'll be hearing more details from the MPO director as this develops. He's also encouraging the public to participate in outreach activities. And if you'd like to voice your questions, concerns, or ideas, visit our website to be a part of that conversation.
As we wait and see if our representatives take action for safety, there are things cyclists and drivers can do right now because the rules can be confusing.
That is so true. And Larissa Liska shares some of the basic Texas laws to follow. What is one of the main controversies, Larissa?
Well, Pat, it is important for both drivers and cyclists to just be aware, especially when bike lanes end or when it's time to make a turn. Team Life Cyclers race team shared how to stay safe and share space.
Accidents happen when cycling, but some close call situations can be avoided.
Hey, dude.
Even Corpus Christi City Manager Peter Zanoni has seen the lack of sharing spaces firsthand when his group was nearly hit by a Jeep.
Whoa! Well, for cycling, you gotta obey the traffic just like everybody else does. You see a stop sign, stop. You see a red light, stop.
In Texas, cyclists must ride as close to the curb as possible, generally 3 feet of cushion, and in the same direction as traffic.
We use stopping, slow down, turning. We use the right hand to say we're turning right, because a lot of times we do this, people think we're waving at them.
When a bike lane ends, sometimes you'll see signs that read, "Yield to bikes." This is just one example of awareness.
I'd like for the cars to know that yield to us at their intersection, that it's okay for us to take the lane.
Cyclists are also allowed to take the lane for safety reasons and when riding side by side, as long as the pair is not delaying traffic.
At least 4 and above. Now we're considered in a peloton. You're in a group, especially with 6. Now it's usually 3 and 3 if you're riding shoulder to shoulder. We got to give the car that ability to also be able to pass and for us to go exist and continue on our ride.
Now, when riding at night, it is also required in Texas that cyclists have a white light on the front and a red light or reflector in the back. The front light helps drivers see a cyclist coming because the headlights would not be able to shine on that back reflector. Back to you, Claudia.